Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today's topic is healing the frequency of the heart. And it is also summer solstice of 2018 here on June 21st of 2018. So happy summer solstice to you. I want to give you a little bit of an energy update here. I also want to let you know what this pattern is coming into full circle here at summer solstice. And I want to share with you 4 ways that you can help to raise this and elevate your love vibration. And I'll share with you in a minute what that ultimately means for yourself. But if we look at in general here as the summer solstice timing, and we'll kind of work out from there, we're putting an end to the suffering. We're saying we no longer have to deny ourselves. You know, a lot of clients I've been seeing have been saying, should I stay or should I go? And the key here at the end of the day is that we are coming into this place of a full circle, creating an evolutionary cycle, a self-love evolutionary cycle, so that we can, at the end of the day, create more compassion for ourselves and to honor us and to learn how to live out loud from the heart so that we can let love live. And that being not just with our beloved, but everything we do, purpose, mission, our daily life, and just learning how to have more fun. So let's catch up to speed here in this evolutionary cycle of over the last year. And this has been repeating now for, well, years really, but it's been about a 3-year cycle very consistently over the last 3 years. As we know, I will also say this, everything is in transition, which means you ramp up and you kind of taper off, and you know, in the energy cycles. And with that being said, some of the things I'm going to share today means that some people may fall in different dimensions of the cycle. There's different kind of phases and stages of this, and not everybody's going to be at the exact same place and moment. So I want to try to cover like all of the phases of what's happening in this self-love evolutionary cycle. And then I will kind of bring it full circle as to how, regardless, you can learn to kind of jump timelines, jump on board, and kind of get to the heart of the matter within yourself. So as we know, with the solar eclipse was a huge kickoff in August the 21st of 2017. In that timeline, we were seeing a lot of shattered hearts. And if you didn't experience at that time, coming up to this point, I'm actually seeing some people that are just now hitting that place of what I would call the shattered heart. And coming out of that, what that shattered heart was doing was activating us on a deeper scale, to go deeper within ourselves, to have us look inside at a deep level to find our wisdom and activate that, which is ultimately at the end of the day creating our truth. So that coming out of that, which then started, that was a period of between September 22nd and December 22nd, but coming out of that from December 22nd to February 22nd, we were testing templates. We were having to revisit everything we thought we had learned to now implement our new ways to handle things. And then from February 22nd to May 22nd, that was a time frame that we're learning how to live that out loud. We're learning how to bring it into form. We're learning how to let our external reality start to match our internal vibration. And as we come full circle, that started as this ramp up phase of May 22nd here through the solstice that's going to go all the way through around September 22nd of this year. It's about now healing and sealing that heart up in a space of coming full circle, so that we've dumped out all the things that haven't been serving as purpose. And if you still are hanging on to some of that, you're being, again, with the higher vibrational energy just in the universe, it's time to be dumping out. And what doesn't serve your purpose is going to start falling away from you. And if you resist that, you're going to be setting yourself up for more chaos which will create confusion, but out of that comes clarity because it's what you need. So there's nothing right or wrong about that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we're creating space for divine love. And in this process, what we've been doing in this creating this full circle, we've had to visit every side of ourselves. We've had to visit the contrast and the duality of the opposite ends of spectrums. And that is creating expansion. And not just ourselves, but in this case, expansion within our love vibration. And this was no accident. I noticed as I had a session with a client prior to recording this, that the shirt that I had on, I didn't intend intentionally to wear it based on this topic, but this is exactly what we're trying to create. We're trying to create the radiant heart that has become activated and that shines and that, goes outward into the creating a reflection and basically illuminates for us to be able to find our way and for everything to start to attract towards us at the vibration we are. So we're raising our own vibration to tap into the higher elements of who we are to attract and manifest the higher dimensional energies of our vortex of what we signed up for to experience from the good side of things. And the more higher we go up into that, the more contrast we might see to create more expansion. So it can feel definitely like a roller coaster, especially when you're going through it. But what happens in that is we're being shown to tip the scale. We're being shown that, we may have done without certain things or been through certain things or created certain amount of pain, that now we're starting to experience joy, but then we're sent back to the opposite side and we keep kind of bouncing and ping-ponging between this up and down and this roller coaster, so to speak. But what we've been doing is doing that for the expansion, and now we're tipping the scale to where we're starting to experience more stability, more of the good things, and more of them coming into our reality. And at the end of the day, what the goal here is also within this frequency of energy, and the solstice and the timing of that is about creating the balance and the harmony and within all that is within us, and how we're to process our own reflections, how we're to experience our own experiences, how we're to manifest and bring into form those things outside of us, matching who we are. This is the harmony that's taking place. And I got to tell you, I went last night after I finished with client. I took Champ for a kind of an evening stroll down to Swan Lake, and I felt guided to be there. And while I was there, it was a kind of a dreary evening. Like a lot of clouds were kind of coming out. It was dusk, and as I approach Swan Lake, I see this deer laying under a tree. And so instead of totally disturbing it, I sit down on a rock and have this entire communication and this this staring down contest kind of that this deer kept doing. It didn't go anywhere. I ended up going home before the deer even moved. But I will tell you that I am visited by my twin's higher self through the form of deer always. And so it definitely felt like a higher self connection or communication, because there was other things that it was confirming that I'd even asked for a sign. And there, was the deer laying there. And in addition to that, as I was sitting there, I said laying there, I was more sitting there on the ground though. I sit on this rock, and out of nowhere, this big, hazy cloud shifted off of the moon. And all of a sudden, this moonbeams just started shining down and, being really bright. And I go to look up and I look at the moon, and it was exactly half dark and half light. I mean, to the point where my intuition really felt that this was the exact moment of the exact harmony, of the exact balance of not only my own personal signs of coming into this harmony stage, but in the alignment of this evolutionary cycle that I'm talking about. And so I was so curious about it. I came home and I Googled the alignment of the moon location and its, what it would view, how it would view at this stage of the game. And it showed that for yesterday, it was exactly the 50-50 dark and 50-50 light. And so I was like, wow, how powerful is that? That was really cool, because it was really coming into alignment with this summer solstice today, this coming into balance that I felt is the message that was coming through, and then also from my own experiences. And what we've been doing in this process of this cycle, not only creating the balance and how we got there, we had to, break apart a side of us that is to help heal and repair the DNA of our soul, so that we can then let go of all those pieces that doesn't serve us, kind of collect the pieces and retrieve of our soul the pieces that now are what we're to take forward, and then integrate our subconscious programming of our past experiences by learning from those, and then balancing that right brain and the left brain from our logic side and our emotional side, but tapping into the wisdom of our higher self and bringing this all into oneness and balance. So at the end of the day, in this full circle, it's been about us finding ourselves and discovering who we are in the depths of who we are, so that we can recreate ourselves now from that higher place and a higher state of being, and that way we can start to do what we love from the heart, manifest from the heart. And by doing that, we have raised and elevated the love vibration of who we are to attract and manifest things from the higher state of being. And this is helping to heal the frequency of our heart, so to speak. So we as manifestors can help to we're getting good at it, and to make sure that we're bringing in our highest vibration of all the pieces within us that is collectively integrating and becoming the new version of us, so that we can really let that love live, like I said, and be able to experience the divine love that we signed up for. And this is where I'm seeing, I want to kind of piggyback this now before I share with you 4 ways to ultimately help you come into compassion for yourself and help you heal the harmony and stay in harmony, I should say. I'm seeing a lot of the should I stay or should I go here, because and then I will say it is majority, because I do work majority with divine feminine, but I also work with divine masculine, and I'm seeing this across the board. So it doesn't even really matter about are you a divine feminine or are you a divine masculine here. It's really about everyone is seeking more love and more fulfillment and more connection, and has been working to heal the divine feminine and the divine masculine within self, creating the inner union of self, which is what all of this whole cycle has been about. So again, when it comes to, let's just say, should you stay or should you go, that's something that, you need to honor you or where you're at. And I'm going to share a few of those experiences with you, because there's 2 sides of every coin, and it's a combination of what is right for one person may not be right for another, and what is right for you at one point in time may not be the same tomorrow. So it can get very confusing. And so this way, in these 4 ways to help you understand how to have compassion for yourself, it's really actually also helping you to stay in balance, because staying in balance is really a narrow path. When you get to the harmonic phase of this balance, the pathway, it becomes very narrow. And if you shift, and I've mentioned this leading up to this in some videos, but if you shift out of alignment in one aspect too far in one direction of this balance path, and you feel that, you will feel that, and you will know to follow basically what's keeping you empowered is the key. So what is empowering you is how you kind of stay within that. And empowering yourself is showing yourself compassion and love for yourself, which we need to do in this phase of the journey of where we've came into place. Now, if you are not in this phase of the journey, and you are coming in and you're still in a phase of a shattered heart, which is, just want you to know, this is divine order too. So there is no right or wrongs about this, but I would recommend that if you're new to my channel, And even if you've watched some of the old videos I did starting back around the eclipse, even a little bit before the eclipse of 2017, you really should go back and catch up to speed with that. And I did also start a playlist that is about elevating your love vibration. And so I will actually attach a link to that as a suggested video here on one of the suggested videos that will come across the screen so that you can plug into that on a deeper level. So now, all right, so let me see where I want to go next, because I want to talk a little bit more about the should I stay or should I go. And we are going to do that we are going to talk about that, I think, first, and then I'm going to share with you the 4 ways that you can stay in balance for the self-compassion, because that'll help actually answer the question, okay? But I think what it is I want to share with you where people are at collectively on this topic. So, what's happening is people have done a lot of work, and they have raised their vibration, and they are getting to a place that feels like a plateau if they are continuing to wait for their twin. Okay, now first of all, I say this in Twin Flame Code Breaker, you should never wait, but you don't close the door. Now I will also tell you that is not for everyone. As far as I will say, it is for everyone that shouldn't wait, because you shouldn't wait to have divine love in your life and to experience it, because that's what's going to bring it to you. But do you hold space for your twin? Always. But at the same token, should you allow these other experiences to come in and activate you and or expand you and teach you, you might just be blocking an experience if you stay in a place of resistance to allowing somebody to come in along for your journey to help you to continue to expand. So, I will say that, that could potentially be a personal journey. That's what this is, a personal decision, I should say. But personally, for my situation, I know that had I not been open for opportunities to connect with people along the way, it took every step of that for me to be able to get my highest lesson, to be able to keep expanding my journey. That also allowed me to not only do that from a personal standpoint, but with the work I do, I learned it as a collective aspect to see what's going on with other people and where the collective is. So, that's from my take of that, is what I will tell you. I just feel like had I been in a place of saying that I'm not moving forward, then I would have been blocking my own growth, so to speak. So anyway, now I want to see where that's coming, because I want to share examples of that in just a second. So I'm seeing a lot of clients that I've been working with in this exact position, and they're coming and they're mentioning, even ones that I haven't necessarily had sessions with for a while, kind of out of the blue, are kind of like sending me these signals at the time I'm seeing this message kind of come through, and saying things to the effect of that I'm at this crossroad of feeling like that it's time for me to how do I keep growing, and how do I continue to go on my journey? I'm at a crossroads that I kind of need to make some decisions to be able to move forward or move on. And basically at the end of the day, what this is teaching you is another layer of surrender and letting go of your twin and realizing on the divine order. And I feel like that may be a topic all of its own, so to speak. But what I do feel is remember, can boil down to, in that divine order, it can boil down to your mission, what you signed up to experience. It can be like that there's certain things that cannot be revealed until divine timing, or you wouldn't get the message that you need at that exact moment for you to be able to experience what you experienced. A lot of the fear and the doubt that I see coming from the high awakened twin is, saying things like, well, I know that if it were just me at this space and time, that I could manifest anything I want in my life and everything I have been. But at this place and time, that is out of my control as far as what my twin does. As in, Like, I can't control free will for them. Did they choose that they want this, and or did they not? And this is where I've been shown to teach people to let go of the stigma of the twin flame journey, let go of the concept and the idea of the label, because you're still programming yourself with the idea that it's a hard journey and it doesn't have to be that way anymore. But what the ultimate thing is for you to stay in your own vibration is to try to lose that label, try to kind of lose that face, and kind of just move into your highest vibration of this love, elevate in this love aspect that I'm talking about here, and raise your own frequency. And know that, to trust that if that's where your twins to align with you, that's where they're going to be waiting on you. But if you're waiting for them to step up in the process, you might be holding it up, is what I'm telling you. I've said this before, and I can't say it enough because it's so true. Because otherwise, you have not expanded yourself to your fullest capacity. And so, with that being said, I've seen two sides of the coin. So I've seen twins that have shifted into the goddess energy and have manifested facilitators in order to come through and continue their activation, continue to help them get on point with mission, to continue to show them what it's like to experience the real divine masculine. And they're staying open to they haven't shut a door to their twin, and they're also not going into the future of what this relationship's going to be. They're honoring it from the space of what it is, of how it's helping them. All right. Now, on the flip side of that, I'm also seeing other twins and clients that have kind of been from a place of being hurt and being rejected and being in pain, to say, you know, I'm done with you. I'm tired of this. We're done. It's over. I'm moving on. Okay. Now, it's intention behind everything that's important here. Because if your intention is that you have not healed the divine love to raise you to the highest vibration and shifted into the higher vibrational frequency, you're going to manifest another person to come into your life to match that frequency. And you're going to be in the same cycle as you are with your twin because you didn't raise your own frequency. So can you see the two sides to this I'm talking about? So intention behind everything you do is like so powerful. So the key, no matter what you do in this stay or go, is you got to go back to the healing of your own heart and raise your own frequency. And so with that, I feel guided to share with you number one of the ways to help you do this. And that is staying in the present. Staying focused on the idea of what do I need in this given moment? What do I need? And make your decisions from a place of staying empowered. So is this, and we're just going to use this example of this, like somebody coming into your life at this place and time. Are they empowering you? Are they lifting you up? Are they helping you raise your vibration? Are they activating you and helping you maybe activate some of your mission? Or are they coming in and activating your low karmic aspects and the debris that you still need to clear, which might still need to be cleared? Maybe that's still hitting a place in you at that point that you still need to clear it. But remember, you can jump timelines in that aspect, and you don't have to stay in that space. And that the lesson can be gotten which is what most people say, I deserve better. I deserve respect. Or they've had a sample of their twin, and then they feel that, well, you know, these lower vibrational frequency of energy is coming in, and it's like, now it's like, I don't want to settle for this because this is what I'm going to get. But this might be what you're going to get at this minute, but you've learned that lesson. That lesson is, don't stay in the low vibration. I deserve more. I can get it instantly. That no, that I don't want another person that's going to be lesser than necessarily what my twin is, from a standpoint of it will never meet up to those expectations. Now, again, this is perception too. Like, are you really looking in the mirror at what this is teaching you? Because remember that everything that we create and manifest outside of us comes from a place of our own perception that creates a projection that gives us the experience of people, places, things, and incidences to come in to trigger back to us the reflection that we need out of that experience for us to keep evolving. That being your twin, that being a karmic partner, that being a facilitator coming in to activate your gifts and to keep you moving forward on your mission. So, you know, what are you looking at within that? Like, what's your perception in that? What do you want? You know, is it about setting another loving boundary? Or maybe from the higher vibration, are you denying yourself pleasure? Are you denying yourself an experience that could be fun and that could be manifesting something and bringing into form, allowing you to let love live and or play, that is allowing you to bring out of you these things have been locked up that now you're ready to experience? You know, when you get to that place, it's not, you know, if you're waiting for your twin to come along to bring that out in you before you get to that, you are looking at the wrong aspect, because you need to be letting love live in everything you do around you to create your own experience, even from that space. And I will also tell you in that place, if you are like seeking and searching that you like, I'm mad at my twin, I feel rejected, I feel the pain, and now therefore I'm going to say, I'm going to hang it up, I'm moving on, and I'm going to now go out and start searching for someone that's going to fill that role. Well, guess what? You maybe didn't look at what's inside of you and what your experience is and be willing to still heal. And maybe you're still bringing that person in out of desires or out of things that you haven't corrected within yourself. So you're manifesting, again, a lower vibration because you're automatically seeking outside of you for something that's not existing in you already. These facilitators will show up and blindside you out of nowhere. I'm having this happened multiple times over the last 3 to 4 weeks with these clients that I've been working with, that multiple clients have had this happen. On the other end of that, I've had clients that have reached out and been open, that they've been so resistant to allowing anyone in. That in itself is a lesson to say, okay, I'm going to at least be open to the idea. That is also another lesson of letting go, because guess what? If you're still hanging on to your twin to make you happy, and then you go searching from another place to think that somebody else is going to come in and make you happy, you're going to, again, be manifesting the lower vibration. Don't look for this to happen. Don't just show up in your own space every day from your heart and elevating that frequency to say, I love what I do. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying life. And I want to play and I want to experience things. I'm going to go out and, you know, connect with friends or these sorts of things, or, you know, be working on my purpose. And I can promise you, if someone's to show up to help you continue that process and plug a leak for you, it will show up. You don't have to look for it. And it can blindside you in that aspect. So, number 2, which kind of piggybacks some of what I just said, clarify your intentions. So let's say, for instance, like before you act on anything, kind of look at, why am I doing this before action? So before you would maybe follow through with even a facilitator, kind of take a step back. What are the intentions here? Am I growing? Is it empowering me? Is it keeping me moving forward? Or am I beating myself up in an aspect that, like, maybe I'm not like allowing myself to experience pleasure? Or am I filling a void inside of me that it doesn't matter if it's my twin or not, I'm just fed up and I'm done, and I'm going to, you know, and here's another one, for example, like I've been messaging them, they're not messaging back, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, next time they message me, I'm not going to message back. Well, the intention behind that is coming from a place of a low vibration, pain, and you're acting out of pain. And when you act out of pain, you are setting yourself up for the idea that the intention you put behind your action is coming from pain. And so the key is for your intentions to be pure and to be like, and I used this example in a session earlier with a client. So I want to see if this comes back through. It was a really good example to explain this. Basically, like for instance, if you were to say you were to be open to dating, okay, and that person will come in, like you're seeking outside of yourself, so to speak, and therefore there's someone that comes in, but when they come in, it's not the exact vibration that you were looking for, and you kind of decide to settle because therefore maybe there's a lesson I'm supposed to get. This is where this stuff gets super confusing, because it's like, okay, well, maybe my lesson is this, that I'm to stay doing this now. But then if you're getting the same results over and over with this person that you got with your twin, then at the end of the day, the question becomes, what was my intention for doing it to begin with? That's what I'm saying here. Did I do it because that I needed it to complete me or complement me? You know, that's a good example that I was using here. So clarify your intention behind doing whatever it is you're doing, including a text message. So let's just say that, you know, your twin, didn't message you back. And as I mentioned earlier, that you are not going to message back now because they didn't message you and you felt the rejection. So your response becomes out of like the pain of the rejection, not standing in your truth of setting a loving boundary, instead of like, you know, and then what happens is then when they actually message you again, then at 2 a.m., then it's like, okay, you jump up and, you know, you want to connect and maybe go connect with them, or, you know, that sort of thing. Whereas in, you know, let it set, not intentionally, you know, but let it set in a way that now, what do I want out of this experience? Do I want him to keep texting me at 2 a.m. every morning? No. Therefore, the next day, now, after you like set the premises of I don't want a 2 a.m. text, you can respond back the next day, basically saying that, you know, yeah, I was asleep last night, and, you know, I hope you have a great day, and leave it at that. Don't leave it, you know, leave it very simple. Don't leave it open for them to come to you, to be that in this case, divine masculine, to come in instead of, you know, coming back at like wanting more. Texting, your intention to text more is to keep the connection alive. That happens a lot. But you can not message back, but leave it in a place where like it's kind of open-ended, where they gives them space to come in. And this is a piece of also that you need to do energetically to allow the twin to come in and to meet you with that frequency is where they're going to meet you. Because how many of you, I know this has happened, and be sure to even leave a comment of this, okay? How many of you have basically like put out there that you're not going to message your twin, and you're going to like basically surrender them, and you're not going to respond, and you fully decide that you kind of got to put up the wall? And this is that all or nothing thing that we talked about. So you put up a wall and say I gotta let you go, and I need to surrender you, and in order to do that, like my wall's going to go up. And as soon as you fully surrender, guess who contacts you? Your twin. Okay? That happens so many times. If it's happened to you, I want to hear in a comment below. So this is what I'm saying. It's all energy. It's the intention is the energy behind the action and the fuel that makes it happen. Okay? So why am I doing this before I act? The number 3 is to speak your truth. To be able to do that, it's about letting go of enough of the lower vibrational things to create in the bondage that's helping you create personal freedom. So in that, you can discover who you are, discover your truth, so to speak. And that's finding your sacred self and your authentic truth. And then therefore, once you find it, then you know, being able to speak that truth to people. So now it's pretty simplified, and I've got a lot of different videos leading up to this one, so I feel like that one's kind of complete. The fourth one is to express your emotions, and that means to stop hiding who you are, to be vulnerable. You know, that to, in this expansion, in this duality we're talking about for this expansion in this timeline, being vulnerable enough to stay open and allow the pain to come in. Because again, as we said, there's two sides to every coin here, and it's about, am I running for myself if I don't experience the pain? Or am I, to try to mask the pain, cut it out? Am I cutting it out, so to speak, is what I'm saying? Or am I staying in it and staying depressed and staying like in a place that I can't dig my way out of a hole? And people have done that sometimes in the past, and they're afraid to let themselves feel that again because they're fighting it and they're resisting it because they're afraid to go back to that place. But to be vulnerable and open, to stop hiding who you are and allow yourself to feel these things. And this is also creating the expansion. So to feel great love, you have to know sorrow. Great sorrow sometimes. So you feel love, you feel sorrow. To feel great love, you have to feel great. I'm sorry, to feel great love, you have to feel great sorrow. To feel love, you feel sorrow. But the expansion of how great it is also becomes how deep and painful it can be that gets you there. So as I complete that, I feel like that's completing like this full circle that was coming through. I think a little bit more on the later topic came in that was needing to come through, because I think it's a big thing right now from what I'm seeing. And the end of the day is about embracing this, and again, just staying present. And you know, I'm just going to go through those one more time. Stay present, stay focused on what is this teaching you? What do you need in the present moment? But what's going to keep me empowered? And then clarifying what is your intention behind your action of what you follow through with. Being able to speak your truth with certainty, being able to express your emotions from your heart, showing vulnerability. Those are 4 ways that's going to help you stay balanced. And that is also 4 ways that's going to help you create more compassion for yourself during this cycle of where this evolutionary energy is. And most importantly, wherever you are on this wheel, to know that you're exactly where you need to be. And it is very multidimensional. This is not linear. It's not like we go through every one of these phases I've mentioned in the cycle like linear. This is paralleling. This is happening multidimensionally. So honor and embrace where you are in that space, and stop resisting the change, and stop resisting and fighting the process. And that will help you keep glowing forward on fire. Okay? Be sure to like, comment, share the shine, and may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.